Okay, I got one viewer. Is that you, Chris? Ah, Matthew's back. Thanks, Matthew. Both times I tried this, you're the first one. And James is here. Hey, James, how you doing, man? Just waiting for Chris to get back in, and I'll continue reviewing his channel, and then we'll move on to whatever the next one is. Hey, Jane. I'm not sure if I'm saying that right with that accent over the E. Accent aigu, I think that is. That makes it sound like an A, right? So is it Jana? Yana? I'm not sure how to say that. I apologize for mangling your name. Yeah, I did lose the channels. I'm just going to finish up Chris's once he's back. And then I'll move on to whatever next comes up in this new chat. Sorry, guys. Hey, Jonathan. Oh, that's interesting. I'm still learning how this works. I haven't done this much. Close enough. All right. Hey, at least I tried, right? I find you know what? I think I'll just quickly wrap up what I was saying about Chris's. So just going back over to Chris's here. One of the things that I recommend everyone have on their channel, and that's the thing, I might not get to your channel specifically, but hopefully some of these things will be valued to multiple people. Popular uploads. It's a great thing to have on your channel. Put it at the bottom, put it at the top. I don't know. I used to have mine at the bottom. I've recently put it at the top based on some advice from Roberto Blake. But if someone comes to your channel and they really want to figure out, like, what's your best game right away, that can be really helpful. And also, those videos are your best game. So if somebody's visiting your channel for the first time, whatever, you want to show your best game. So popular uploads, highly recommend you put that as part of your channel layout, wherever you do put it. Just going to hop over to Chris's About page now. Give it a quick read. See, this is interesting. The description here. Oh, he already updated it. Awesome, Chris. You're quick. Smart guy. It says, and conspiracies. Before, the channel description was truncating on search. I didn't know it was about conspiracies. If I'm like crazy for conspiracies and love to watch that, I wouldn't have known. But now that you've rewritten it, that'll probably show up. So that's good. Just follow me on social media. So you got a lot of links there. What I would suggest is maybe having a second sentence or paragraph where you talk about a little bit more in depth. One of the things that I use is sort of a structure is, you follow the rule of three, or you could do a floating opposites. So you could say whether it's spicy noodle challenges or kids making spaghetti, and turn that into a sentence. Whether it's this or that, we try to show you the best life has to offer. Something like that. Some kind of slogan. Whenever possible, and I talk about this before in previous live streams, if you can say something about the why you do what you do somewhere in your description, not at the top, but maybe the second graph, that can also help people identify with what you're up to. So you could say, like, hey, we've over the years, we've had so much fun doing ice bucket challenges and UFO conspiracies and kids making pasta or pizza or whatever, and we're here to hopefully inspire you to have more valuable family time or something, so that you put like 2 or 3 specific examples of videos you've done that have done well or that you're proud of, that you think is some of your best work, and then you pivot immediately to the why of what you're doing. This is good for a couple of reasons. I spoke a bit about the why, and in previous live streams, I've dived deeper into why you talk about the why. People identify with the why. But if you talk about, say, your 3 most popular videos, that helps with SEO, because now you've got some of those words in your description as well, and that can be helpful for discoverability. So you got some links down here. I'm going to check the Twitter link to see if you fixed that up. Oh, it looks, yeah, there you go. Perfect. So you fixed up the Twitter link. That's good. Pro tip to people who don't get the Twitter icon on their banner when they put the Twitter link in. If the Twitter icon is showing as a world instead of the Twitter logo, take the S out of HTTPS and that often fixes that. I don't know if that's what's happening here. No, and Chris, don't change anything. It's fine now. You fixed it. It's great. But that's just for other people. And so again, you say follow my social media, but again, because of the way that descriptions are, these are not clickable links. And you have links at the bottom. So for anything here where the link is clickable at the bottom, I would take it out. And again, like I said, instead replace it with that sentence or paragraph just talking about some of your videos and why you do what you do, so you can get your keywords out there and people can understand what drives you. So I'll take a quick look at Channelytics, which is a cool feature. I love the name from TubeBuddy. Looking at channel tags. These tags look pretty good. But in your description, you talk about conspiracies, for example. I'm not seeing it in your channel tag. Although, I wonder if there's any demonetization risk with conspiracy theory stuff. I honestly don't know. If you have TubeBuddy, TubeBuddy will tell you if there's a demonetization risk with that tag. If you try adding it to a video, it'll turn it red. So I'd say your tags are pretty good. The We Are YouTube is obviously trying to tie into that, what was it, a Casey Neistat thing or something. So that might have a shelf life. And if you didn't create a video about that, it might be considered a slightly misleading tag. I'm probably being paranoid there, but if you replace that with like, you know, something about the conspiracy or whatever, then maybe that'll line up with your channel identity a bit better. You had an amazing August 17th, I can tell from my TubeBuddy plugin here. You got 23 subscribers in a day. You're doing fine, man. That's double the most subscribers I've ever gotten in a day. The very next day, you got 16. Whatever you were doing around August like 17th and 18th, and to a lesser extent, September 5th and 6th, those were good days for you. And if you can remember, where did I share? What kind of video did I upload that day? Those were strong days for your subscriber growth. For views, you had a very... Oh, no, wait. No, sorry, that's me. It looks like I'm doing pretty good in views versus your channel, but you're doing better in subscribers. So, hey, that's the way it goes. And you upload quite a bit more videos. It's not a competition. Okay, that's cool. All right, I'm going to switch back over to chat and find another channel. Beth, I love that. Why am I doing what am I doing? My cats are evil dictators who force me to. Beth, I don't remember the name of your channel, but if that is like the beginning of your channel description, that would be pretty awesome. Also, if you have a Twitter account and that's part of the description of like your Twitter profile, that's really solid. It's funny. It catches people right away. I would want to click on that. So I don't know what you have now, but what you just wrote in chat was fantastic. Oh, James, you're getting over a stomach bug. I hate that kind of thing. You know, when I'm not well, I just grab my tablet. I got a Surface 3. I lie in bed, and I watch things like Roberto Blake. And I just get ideas and information. You know, once I'm ready to go again, then I feel like I've got a renewed lease on life. The pizza is officially done. All right, let's see. So it looks like the next one is aquatical. Probably saying that wrong. Sounds like a cross between cuticle and aquatic. So I'm wondering if that is in some way about cosmetology. Okay, you got a nice kind of caricature for your channel here. It's black and white, but it's pretty cool. I like that. That is unique. Excuse me. It looks like it's signed, so it's a bit of a commission thing there. So that's nice. So the channel description that I see coming up here from search is, hello people of the interwebs and welcome to my channel. If you like to laugh and cringe at socially awkward gamers, then this is ... that's where it drops off. So that's interesting. I would drop off everything before the comma. Hello, people of the interwebs, and welcome to my welcome to my channel. I don't know if that's a typo or if that's like a Chekhov accent. Either way, I don't think people are searching any of the words you're using before the comma, and it doesn't tell anything about your channel to people. So similar to what I said to Chris, there's a lot of places where being conversational makes a lot of sense. I don't think channel description is one of them. Excuse me, I apologize. And so, yeah, and because in different searches, different browsers, whatever, different settings, your channel description will appear, but it'll get cut off pretty quick. So those early characters are super, super valuable. So I would consider just beginning with, if you like to laugh and cringe at socially awkward gamers, and then go from there. 10 videos, 34 subscribers. So my TubeBuddy plugin, which is fantastic, can't say enough good things about, has a search explorer on the right-hand side, which tells me that it's a good term, the word you're using for your channel name. Search volume is relatively low. Competition is a little higher, but it's still very much on the low side. And the autocomplete was trying to suggest Aquatica. And as a result, related searches were Aquatica, Orlando, San Diego, rides, etc., etc. But most used tags are gaming, games, comedy gameplay, funny gameplay, gamer 2018, things like that. Those look pretty good. Just going to hop over to keyword stats here, which is interesting. I'll let you, if you decide to get TubeBuddy, I recommend that you do this kind of thing where you know, with a browser with TubeBuddy installed, search your own name and look at the kind of information that comes up in the side panel. It can tell you quite a lot. So I'm going to dive into the channel here. I'm just going to quickly hop over to chat to make sure that I haven't totally broken things. No, looks like people are still around. Cool. So Jane, Yana, however you say your name. So I like your banner. Your banner is really awesome. You've got yourself, it looks like, the caricature of you riding Yoshi, which is cool. And that seems fine. My only thought is that it looks like the trimming on the image is a little inconsistent. Like around the top of Yoshi's nose, for example, there's a bit of white space that appears, whereas on the bottom half of his nose, it's trimmed quite closely. So my suggestion there, if you could, is make that more consistent. So either trim it carefully or intentionally have sort of like a glowing space on the outside so that people can see the fine line art on the outside of the image. But right now it's inconsistent, so it looks like it wasn't done super professionally, and I don't mean that as an insult. I'm just trying to give feedback. But other than that, I absolutely love your banner. One thing I do notice is you don't have any social links. So if you don't have other social media accounts that you would like to link to, like a fan page on Facebook or Twitter account, whatever, that's fine, and I understand that. If you do, link them up, because it adds to a level of professionalism, I think, for the look of the channel, and it can drive people to your other social media things, which is only good for you. If you don't have any, I would suggest you consider going and signing up as quickly as you can with your particular username, the Aquatical, or however you say that. And part of the reason is, let's say while you're asleep tomorrow night, Conan O'Brien stumbles across your channel and finds something he likes and tweets about it, and you wake up to over 1,000 subscribers suddenly. And somebody out there realizes that, oh, you've got a bit of a thing here. I want to capitalize on it. I'm going to go create a Twitter account with that name and maybe get myself some followers. So you want to try and protect your brand. So what I would say is, even if you don't really use it much, go out and sign up for those various social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, whatever comes to mind. If for no other reason than to get a handle on your username and lock it down, control your brand. Create a little notepad file that has all the account login information and save it somewhere on your computer, so, you know, in case you forget, you've got it, if it's something you're not going to use frequently. But at least then you've got it. And then also, when you're using different YouTube features, you'll actually be able to automatically tweet when a new video comes out, for example. You can tie your Twitter into your YouTube, and it'll just automatically tweet it. And so there's no harm in doing that. So at the very least, I suggest those things. So looking at your channel layout, there's only two groups of videos, uploads and created playlists. Those are fine. I would suggest maybe having one or two of the playlists actually as a horizontal row with the videos showing, And again, I mentioned this before when I was looking at Chris's channel. I think popular uploads is a really important module to put in there, so people can see immediately what your best stuff is, and go right to it if that's what they're looking for. If they're trying to be like, oh, I want to get a feel for this channel. Do I want to subscribe? I don't know. Then they can go, almost immediately to your greatest hits. Also, there's no channel trailer here, and as I recall, you have very few videos because you're probably just starting out, and that's absolutely fine. But at some point, you might want to consider creating a channel trailer, and I've said this before to other people, 60 seconds of your best stuff. A sizzle reel is what they call it. Just quick little clips, the funniest, the most visually interesting, whatever. The one process to create this, and I'm kind of hypocritical here because I don't have that kind of a channel trailer right now for myself. Is just sit down and think about all the videos you've made and what are the first 5-10 moments that come to mind. Write those down, cut them up, put them into a 60-second thing, and make that your channel trailer. When somebody views your channel, it autoplays. It's an automatic view for you. So for no other reason than that, you can kind of inflate your view count that way. But also, it's an opportunity to show people the best of what you got right away. Hopefully, grab them in. Just going to hop over to your About page here. And I notice you have one featured channel, which is fine, on the right-hand side, and you have popular channels. So one thing to watch out for as a creator is when you're starting out and YouTube doesn't really know what you're fully about or what kind of an audience you have, et cetera, it will be popular channels. Once YouTube gets a sense of who and what you are, that will change to related channels. And that's an important step. And it can go back and forth sometimes because maybe they'll lose confidence. And it's all an algorithm. It's not like there's a guy back there making decisions. But that will be a very good sign. So that's something to watch for once it goes related. And maybe checking out what some of those related channels are for potential collaboration opportunities might be something you could do in the future. So if you like to laugh and cringe at socially awkward gamers, then this is the place to be. I see, much like Chris, you're doing edits in real time. That's cool. Hey, I'm glad that you think this advice has worthwhile for you. So it says I upload every Tuesday and Thursday, the 2 T's of the week. That's fine, having your upload schedule there. Again, like I recommended for Chris, mention something specific that you've done. Either 2 or 3 games you've played, videos you've done, something, and try to tie it to the why of what you're doing. I get the sense that you're wanting to make people laugh, and that's fantastic. So you could say, like, whether we're playing Super Mario World or GTA 5, we have a great time and love bringing more laughter into the world. I don't know, something like that. Something that comes from, so mention 2 to 3 things that you've already done, genres, games, specific videos, whatever it is, and follow it up with a why statement of what motivates you so that people can see what some of the best stuff you've done, or what are you all about. It also gets your keywords in there, so you're more searchable. And the why can help them potentially connect with you on an emotional level and build some long-term loyalty, potentially. So that's pretty good. Oh, he's here from South Africa. That's cool. I have not been to that continent yet, one day. And again, there's no social links. So I already spoke to the social links thing. And so, yeah, it has 639 views. So it's early days, but that also means that there's just a world of opportunity. I see that you created your account January 20th, 2018. That was right around when they were announcing the new monetization rules. So that's brave, because you signed up like right when people found out that this was about to get harder. And so I respect you for doing that, for whatever value that has. I'm going to hop back over to the chat now. Being Tanisha, I think is probably how you say that. I assume that's the channel name. I'm just going to copy that to my clipboard and just make sure that I'm still broadcasting okay. Yeah, nobody's saying that things aren't working, so that's good. All right, I'm going to hop back over to YouTube, and I'm going to search Being Tanisha. I'm not sure how to say that. Okay, so the thing that first comes up is a picture of you. You've got this bright, vibrant purple hair, which is quite striking. There's almost like a lens flare effect that seems to be coming from the hair to like the top of your left eye. That's kind of cool. There's a guy in the background holding, I think, a toddler or something. That's a little distracting, but it's a good image. My one thought is, if you wanted to play around with some like Photoshop, magic tools or whatever, and if you could replace that background bit with something else, either a solid color or something that gives me an indication of what your channel is about, then that would that might be one way of improving that image. But I think you've got a really good start there, because that purple hair is very striking. So let's see, 124 subscribers, 21 videos. In this world, the only person I can be is me, being Tanisha. an active duty sailor navigating the world, fun travels and vlogs. So I like what you're saying in that first sentence, but I would suggest moving it lower in the description, because it's not searchable. It doesn't tell me much about what your channel is about, but I like it. It's a good sentence, and so I would keep it but move it further down, because again, this is going to truncate, and so right now it's stopping at the word vlogs. And you want to try and grab people as quickly as possible. People are lazy and people jump to conclusions. And so let's use that knowledge that they do that and grab them right away. And so, and again, being Tanisha, having that there, it's good keyword alignment, but it doesn't tell anyone anything more. So I would keep it, but I would move it a little bit later. I say an active duty sailor navigating the world. I love that. I think that should be the very beginning. And then, yeah, fun travel vlogs. Then say being Tanisha, and then say in this world. That would be the order that I would suggest to optimize that a little bit. It's just my personal taste. Take it or leave it. Looking at the TubeBuddy Search Explorer. So it's interesting. You've got higher search volumes for your name than the last two channels I looked at. And the competition is middle of the road, and it gives a good score of 46. Related searches adds the word Thomas to the end. I'm not sure what that, maybe that's your last name or something unrelated. Most used tags, Bad Girls Club. TV personality. Oh, I guess there's a Tanisha Thomas that might be a TV personality. BGC, which is probably short for Bad Girls Club. Tales, travel tales. I like that. So that's some interesting things there. Let's dive into your channel. I'm going to stop that thing there. Welcome back. I've been gone for a long 2 years. Cheers to being back. Connect with me. And you've got that there. So it looks like a picture of, I want to say Miami, but it's probably not. And it looks like it's taken from, as a cruise guy, my channel's travel and I do cruises. I would like, this looks like a picture that's taken from a cruise ship leaving the port of Miami. So that's cool. I like it. And then you've got the text there with your name on it. That's pretty good. I don't think I have much feedback there. And you got your website, Google Plus, and Twitter links on the side. That's cool. So again, I'm guessing you would have an Instagram. If not, I recommend you sign up and grab your name. Partly again, just because if you're a travel channel, then you're gonna be taking amazing pictures. And I got a travel channel, and so I try to have a presence on Instagram. It hasn't driven any traffic for me yet, but I'm trying to at least make it clear that I exist there as well as other places. So if you don't have an Instagram, I recommend you sign up and then include that as a social link, because also, again, with that striking image with you with the purple hair, people might be like, because initially when I first saw that, I thought you were going to be a personal vlog / makeup person. But anyways, with that striking look about you, people might want to go look for more pictures of you, and Instagram is the place they would go to do that. So that's just a thought. So your channel trailer says welcome back. The channel trailer will play for people who are not subscribed. So are you welcoming us back, or are you being welcomed back? Because it talks about a long 2 years, but it doesn't really, like the video description, but it doesn't dive in. It says, I've been gone a long 2 years. Cheers to being back. So a couple of things. One, the A is capitalized. So it makes me feel like they're like, I have been gone was supposed to be one sentence and a long 2 years is another, but there's no period. That's a grammar thing. Excuse me for being a grammar Nazi, but again, we want to look professional for people to come to our channel, because if people see that we're putting in the effort, they're going to put in possibly more effort to watch us. And so cheers to being back. But that doesn't really tell me much. And so maybe you're trying to entice people, I don't know. But if it's like you were on a deployment or something, or you were on a long sail, or did you if it was just you taking a break from YouTube, if you've been traveling the world, or on a long job or a task or deployment or something, then that's cool. Mention all that. If it's just that you haven't uploaded in a couple of years, I wouldn't actually lead with that, because you're not leading with your strongest foot forward. You're gonna because basically you're acknowledging that you might just disappear for 2 years again, and an audience isn't necessarily going to be enticed by that. Also, I noticed that the thing that's serving as your channel trailer is 2.5 minutes long, which for channel trailer is a little on the long side. So I would consider making something that is in the neighborhood of 60 seconds, somewhere between 30 and 90 seconds, that showcases what you're all about in an instant. And again, I'm not watching the video. Maybe this does. That's just my thought. Looking down, we got uploads. Your travel tales, popular uploads, good. You got subscriptions with it, which is an interesting choice, uh, and liked videos. So my personal preference, and this is just a me thing, is I don't share my subscriptions, partly because I'm concerned that that invites things like sub for sub. I honestly don't want people to know who I'm subscribed to because I don't want it to create them thinking I'm endorsing everything that person does. I don't want them thinking that they are pressured to subscribe back, or that if they approach me with sub for sub, well, that's where they can find out if he really did it. I don't want any of that nonsense. That's my personal choice. But that having been said, hey, if you subscribe to me and it showed up in your subscriptions, that'd be cool. So, it could just be being part of a community, but I think those are just some things to think about. And again, liked videos, your drive for subscriptions and liked videos. There's a couple things. You're driving people away from your channel at that point. And it's very early to be doing that when people have just landed on your channel and scrolled down. And here's a bunch of things that would take them away from you. So I'm not sure that that's the best way. If you want to be great with the community and showing people you subscribe to, you have featured channels and there's someone there. It's fantastic. You could bulk that up with a couple more rather than showing your subscriptions. And the liked videos, again, it's driving people to not your traffic, which I would say do that a little bit later. Try to win them over before you let them go somewhere else. And also the first one is one of your videos. And so it shows that you liked one of your own videos. And for some people, that's an etiquette thing that people don't do. I don't really care one way or the other, but I'm not sure how that would play with a broader audience. So again, I see it's popular channels. So once you're a little bit more established and YouTube figures out what you're about, that'll switch over to featured channels. And so that's one sign that you're making progress, something fun to look forward to in the future. Go to your about page. Okay, share documents and share journey through life. Follow her journey as an active duty sailor through travel vlogs, motivational videos, rants, and all activities she takes part in. That's pretty fantastic. You could bulk it up again. I've spoken in the last few channels. You can talk about some specific things that you've done that you're proud of and a little bit more about why you want to do it. And also active duty sailor. Are you in the military? Are you in the Navy? Or is it like the merchant Marines, or do you work on a cruise ship? Active duty makes me think military. But you can flesh that out a little bit more. And I mean, if you are military, or honestly, if you're just working commercially, there are probably limits as to what you can say. You might not be able to identify the ship you're on, for example. But you might be able to say something like the parts of the world that you frequently go to. My channel, Vacation Impossible, that I run, has only ever covered Europe and North America. And so we try to make that clear at the outset. If you're looking for videos on Asia, we're not going to be able to help you. So you could, for a second paragraph, you can flesh that out and talk a little bit more about why. If it is, that you're active duty military, for one thing, thank you for your service. Another thing is, if part of why you're doing it is to show your friends and family what happens during your travels, or so you can stay connected with them while you're traveling, or things like that. Those are things people can, I know I would I identify with that and connect with that on an emotional level. And that would make me more interested in what you're doing. So again, speaking to the why of why you're doing it is helpful. And yeah, you got some social links there. So if there's any others, or even if you just want to camp on things, you could flush that out there. I think that's pretty good. I'm going to go back to chat now and see what's next. See, it's funny. The chat won't let me scroll back very far, so I might miss things. Speaking of name searches, dangerously close to larger channel known as... How do I get around this? Hold on. This is a big block of text here. I want to try and figure out what this is because I think it's an interesting question. Speaking of name search, it's going away. It's disappearing. No. YouTube search engine relates my name. I'm sorry, it's gone. It won't let me go back. You know what? Whatever that was, I recommend you make your own post and small YouTubers boost about it. Let the community and hopefully I or somebody who's smarter than me will come along and maybe they can give you some insights. All right, let's see here. I will be saving this live stream, so if you missed any parts, you'll be able to go back and watch it. Let's see. Martin says this is the year he started to knuckle down. Didn't even back him. Yeah, Chris, once this live stream is done and it's back available, you can go back. And I started off by just finishing off with your channel, so there might be some other stuff there for you. All right. Kelvin Raisley. Let's do this one. Sorry for not being involved in chat very much, but only got one monitor. I think multiple monitors are crazy, but in this instance, I suddenly see the value. If you don't mind, I'm gonna have some potato chips. They might be kind of loud, so you know, headphone users, be advised. This is part of my lunch. All right, what do we got here? Over 1,000 subscribers, so you're beating me. I hope you're monetized. Congratulations if you are. Young musician, I upload song cover, open to suggestions. Okay. So I think there's some grammar things going on here that are very easy to correct. And again, people get judgy about that sort of thing. So apologize if I come off as judgy, but your audience is going to judge you and never tell you they're judging you. So hopefully this has some value. So what I'd say is just rewrite it to say, young musician doing song covers, please send in your requests. Because some of the, like, you got a space before and after one comma, and then the second comma you got space before but not after. And so like the grammar just looks a little off. So if you just say a young musician doing song covers, send in your requests. That I think that not to sound critical, but it would be better English. Okay. So the search volume for your channel name is low, and the competition is actually a little higher, which is interesting. But it's still overall. I'm using TubeBuddy Search Explorer here. It gives you a 50 out of 100. So the most used tags: India, a word I don't know, music, cover, Calvin, West Bengal, live cover, amazing cover, and then what looks like a name that I don't know. So that's interesting that the most used tags is India, because I'm going to assume that either you're in India or that's inaccurate. But it sounds like what you're about is music, and music is the third most used tag. So that might be something to keep in mind when tagging your videos. One thing I use TubeBuddy for, which is fantastic, I go through my old back catalog and I optimize my keywords. And so, you know, if this is live performances in India, if it's in Indian language, you know, either Hindi or other, then I can kind of understand. But if the video is about music and it's not about showing off India's like a place to live, a destination, the politics of India, something like that, India might not be the best tag. I'm a travel channel and I'm based in Canada, but if I'm not going to a Canadian destination, talking about a Canadian destination, you won't find a Canada tag in my keywords. So that's just something to think about, is if you could get music and cover used a little bit more, that would probably be a bit more on brand. Dive into your channel here. Okay, so you've got an Ed Sheeran cover, Thinking Out Loud, serving as your channel trailer, which for a music channel makes perfect sense to me. I think that's fine, no problems there. If that is what you think is your best performance, good choice. And so you've got your banners are very nice, but it makes me think you're about gaming or astronomy. If you're doing music, why is it a picture of space? And I don't mean to sound harsh there, but again, this is the kind of thing that people might have as a first impression, and they'll never take the time to tell you. So it's something to think about. I mean, it looks like you're playing an acoustic guitar. So maybe something with an acoustic guitar somewhere in the banner would in an instant tell people what your channel is about, because right now it's fairly generic. You got social links to Instagram and SoundCloud. Makes perfect sense for a musician. And again, I would suggest Twitter. If you have Twitter, just put it in. If you don't have Twitter, just go up and sign up, camp on your username, tie it into your YouTube so that it will automatically tweet every time you upload a new video. Just do, as a bare minimum, do that to at least protect your brand in case you blow up overnight and some people want to go and try and steal your brand from you by pretending to be you on Twitter or somewhere else. Don't let them do that. And the other thing is people want to get verified. They want to get verified on Twitter, YouTube, Instagram. One of the ways you do that is by consistently having the same username and visual look across multiple social media platforms. If somebody like Twitter is thinking, oh, do I give this guy the blue check mark? They're probably going to check your links and see if you exist elsewhere to verify that, yeah, okay, it's probably the same guy. Just something to think about. So your channel layout looks pretty default to me. I mean, it's great that you've got the trailer there. That's fantastic. But the only playlist thing you have here is uploads. If you've done videos that you can group into a category for a playlist and make that playlist and then put the playlist here horizontally. That's good for a variety of reasons. People forget about playlists. It's an underutilized function on YouTube. So if you're doing it and somebody else isn't, that gives you an advantage. So if there's something that you can put together, like do maybe covers that you've done before a live audience, put those in one playlist. Things that you've done on location, or maybe love songs or EDM or whatever. If there's some ways that you could consider grouping some of your videos together, make it a playlist and then add it to your channel as a horizontal row. And again, I've said this, I think every channel I've looked at, except one, popular uploads. If somebody wants to know instantly what your best game is in terms of most watched video, have it up there. And also, if people like it, put it front and center so that new viewers can also like it. It's putting your best foot forward. I'm going to hop over to your About page. So it's pretty bare bones. So, you know, I would add a second sentence or paragraph and say something like, hey, you know, I'm just an Indian kid with an acoustic guitar and a dream, or something that's also searchable. Acoustic guitar is a searchable term. Or, you know, hey, whether I'm covering Ed Sheeran or a retro Bon Jovi classic, I can't help but sing. Something like that. Speak to the why. Give an example, speak to the why. I know I'm repeating myself a lot, but I think this applies to a lot of people. Now, I forgot to do this on a couple of channels that I already went through, but I'm going to go through and look at the channelytics. I'm just going to pause this video again because I want to talk about channel keywords, and I forgot to do that last couple times. I apologize. You've only got one channel keyword, Kelvin. Not good, man. Nobody knows the algorithm, so nobody knows how important this is, but you got to put some channel tags in there. Acoustic guitar, covers, musician, music, song. Just throw those in there. They can't do any harm. Let's see here. So I haven't gained any subscribers in the last month, or any views, or any new videos. This channel seems fairly dormant. I hope I found the right channel. If I didn't, hopefully some of my advice would still apply to yours as well. But I would say, if it's at all possible, try to have a new video out at least once a week. I don't even do that myself. I need to shoot for that. But the first week in a video's lifespan is very important. YouTube doesn't know what it is yet. It brands it as new. It puts it fairly high in search and suggestions. And so if you always have at least one video that's doing that, that'll be an important driver of traffic to your channel. So that having been said, I'm going to hop back over to chat and see what I can catch up on. Hope my chips aren't too loud, guys. They're Tim's, so they're kind of loud. Jane says I'm giving some good advice. Thank you. Mark, no, we're not actually dropping links. Drop the, well, Matthew said it. Channel name so I can search. All right. Little Kitchen, Big Food. Oop. Chat scrolling. Must capture faster. I'm so lazy. If there's a copy and paste that's like more than 4 characters, I will absolutely copy and paste instead of typing those 4 characters. You can call it efficient if you want to be kind. All right. Little Kitchen, Big Food. Oops. Let's see what we got. 143 subscribers, 39 videos. So it's a picture of a couple. This is a fairly attractive woman, and there's what I presume to be an attractive man. He's slightly cropped part of his face out, the way that the circle works. So you're both very photogenic, telegenic people, and so that's good going for you. But despite the name, the picture doesn't tell me much about what you're about. So if you were to update that at some point, maybe if you're holding a dish that you've made into the frame, maybe that would help land it and put it a little bit more on brand. I don't know. If you have a small kitchen, this channel is for you. Apartment, condo, or just a small kitchen, we got you covered. Just cooking, ... So that's where it truncates and drops off. This is good. It feels a little redundant. I think there's a better way to do this. If you have a small kitchen, whether it's in an apartment or condo or whatever, we got you covered. We'll show you how to make the biggest meals in the small spaces. Maybe something like that, because it does say small kitchen twice, which, I mean, keyword repetition is, I think, less valuable than it once was. I don't know. But that's just a suggestion. Regardless, it is pretty good. It gets to the point right away. I grasp what it's about. So I think that it is fine, but that was just another approach you might want to consider. Looking at the TubeBuddy Search Explorer, the search volume is sort of around 25%, and the competition is right in the middle. So overall, as a name, this is good. It ranks it as a 46 out of 100. Most used tags: food, cooking, kitchen, cooking class, easy meals, chopped, instruction, teaching, and knife skills. Fantastic. Sounds like you're doing very good things with your tags. So I'm going to dive into the channel now. I'm going to pause the video. What to do with leftovers. See, that is a super practical thing that would provide a lot of value to folks. And it's 48 seconds. That's a pretty good idea. I think you're smart with that. You know, I keep talking about sizzle reel, but what you're doing, you're giving value to people the second they come to your channel. And what to do with leftovers, to anyone who doesn't have money coming out their ears, that is relevant and important. So I think you made a good choice there. I got no suggestion on that. And so looking at your picture, your banner, you got a burger and, I don't know, shrimp something. You've got your name there in the middle, pops, really easy to read. That's all pretty good. My one thought is, and I was thinking about this when I was looking at your profile pictures, if there was an image of like a big food something that was in with a background of a small kitchen, that would really, like, it'd be on the nose, maybe too on the nose, I don't know. Like a giant burger with like 3 patties or something, hold it close to the camera for false perspective or something, in what looks like a very tiny kitchen. That might be cool, because right now it's just pictures of food. I'm not a big foodie though, so I'm not your target audience. I might not be the right person to provide advice on the image. The burger looks appealing, so it might not be worth changing. I could be leading you astray here. So you're off to a really good start here. Don't let your subscriber count like ding your confidence. It looks like you're doing some really professional work here from what I'm seeing. So feel free to completely ignore what I say. I don't want to lead you astray. Oh, that's weird. Let's see. Playlist: how to cook gourmet meals just like we do. That's pretty good. And then you've got uploads. So again, I know I'm going to be harping on it, but popular videos is good. And so I did notice that it looks like, oh, it was a live stream. Okay, because Labor Day 2018 live stream from Little Kitchen Big Food. It says no views 4 days ago. And so the picture there is probably the same picture you're using for your banner, which shows more of the burger, and those are actually, I think they're shrimp on skewers. So, okay, that's interesting. It's a shame that you didn't get any views on that, because it looks like you're doing good stuff here. Your thumbnails, what I would suggest with your thumbnails is, because that you're putting the text white on black, which is good for contrast and readability, but then you're shrinking down the image, and so the image is kind of hard to see. And then you've got your branding on the side. And I don't think you really have like a channel logo per se. So what I would suggest if I were making those thumbnails is I would take the picture and make the picture full size. Also, here's a tip. If you're using Photoshop, there's the vibrance and the saturation. Play with that a little bit. What I do is, well, if I have a new picture I'll be using as a thumbnail, open it up in Photoshop, assuming you have Photoshop, or maybe there's equivalent functions in the free software or other programs you use, and up the vibrance and or the saturation by 25% and just see how it looks. Because I think when images get scaled down, they lose some of the vibrance, the richness of the colors. And so you can counteract that by pushing it a little bit above what it naturally is, so that when it gets shrunk down for thumbnails in use on YouTube, it looks a little bit more natural. So that's just an idea. And so what I would do is I would use that as the whole background. Then I would take the text of what it is, clam chowder, pork, whatever, chicken, whatever, and put that on. One font that scales really well is called Bebas. It's spelled B-E-B-A-S. There's also Bebas New, but the new is in French, so it's N-E-U-E. Either of those two fonts scale really well. I discovered them when I was reading like Popular Mechanics, when I was waiting for a flight in Honolulu. And they had interviewed a YouTuber, and I tried it, and it does scale very well. And when you're using it, I know Photoshop, it looks like your text is stretched a little, or maybe that's the type of font. make sure that that it's not stretched in either direction, and I find that that scales very well. So I would put that on top of the full background, and then maybe as a layer between the background and the text, you could have like a rectangle coming out or a bar going across that's like 50%, 65% transparent. Make that black or a color you want to associate with your channel, so that the text will pop a little bit more, but then the image stays large. Roberto Blake has a great tutorial on making thumbnails in Photoshop. I've been using it lately, and I recommend that. But that's just my thought. And alternatively, honestly, the thumbnail that you had for that live stream, despite it not getting views, that's pretty awesome. That's another thing you could do. I actually really like that style. You put the image of the food and then have the white rectangle thing, the bar going across the middle, almost like it's like tape or correction tape or something, and then have it in the font of your banner having the name of what it is. I think that actually would look lovely. Forget what I said about all that Bebas stuff. I would say try to copy that as a great thumbnail. Don't let the lack of views. That was I think because it was live. If I had to guess, don't let that lead you astray. Let's check out your about page here. Nice. Your second sentence, I don't think really adds much, because your third sentence also includes the word cooking. And I think in your second sentence, or not, sorry, second paragraph, the only searchable word is cooking. I'm just reading here. Give me a second. That's a great description. I think the second paragraph could be removed because it's redundant, but other than that, that is lovely. I wouldn't change that at all. You got your social links there. It looks like they're forming properly. You got an ICO for your website. Nice. It looks better than mine. I'm just gonna check the Channelytics. Oh, it looks like you've had some growth recently. That's good. So your channel tags. It's like this. It says teaching is one tag, and is one tag, cooking is one tag, gourmet is one tag, and food is one tag. So what you can do to combine keywords on your channel tags is to put parentheses around them. So if you wanted teaching and cooking to be as if it were one tag, put them in parentheses, and that's how you can combine them. I don't know that you need to. What I would do is drop the word and, because I think teaching, cooking, gourmet, and food are all fantastic. But then I would maybe say something about small kitchen. Put that in quotes so the two words are combined as one search term. Or small space, or cooking in a small space, something like that. I think that would be good additions. Oh, I see you're a TubeBuddy user, so you know all about that. So it looks like you got 15 subscribers on September 3rd and 38 on September. Man, you're on your way. So like you're doing great. You've gotten more subscribers in a day than I have by a factor of 3. So yeah, you're doing good there. And views of I think that'll come with some of the other things. And we both upload a similar amount. So yeah, that's I think you're on the right path. I think it's just a matter of time in a lot of respects. I think you've got a lot of good instincts here, so I think you're going to do quite well. Okay, let's see. Back to chat. Team Triple B. I've seen that one around. That's with the Union Jack, if I'm not mistaken. He must have commented on some of my videos or some of yours.